The soul behind George Rings. It all started with two women who are sisters. This is a small reference, my perception from a very sensitive place. After exchanging their experience and real life stories, I observed and discovered one of the faces of the origin of the good in everything. Sometimes most people think being vulnerable is scary, but for me it's necessary. To let someone else share your emotions. I also think it's scary to never try, to never give your heart a chance to beat with another. Most people think being vulnerable is scary, but it is necessary. It's one of the paths into real art, soul art. Certain people simply capture your energy and take you to the righteous places on their souls. Their kindness gives optimism, help the body, soul, the heart. And they are inspired with us, Chelsea and Jade, whom I'm going to have the honor to interview. They will tell us about their story from a very soft and warm place, like the gold in a George ring. They dedicate their time to me and show me that you can handmake the best version of your life. In one way or another, we are all art. When we let ourselves see the imperfection, as stated by Jade and Chelsea. The best jewelry is perfectly imperfect, and alike all human beings, is beauty increased with age, patina, and the marks of a life well lived. So welcome.
Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful introduction. Really loving. We appreciate it.
So I would like you to introduce yourself and talk about the origins of your rings.
I'm Chelsea, and I'm the older sister in our duo. Origin of George Rings, for me, the kernel of that started about 10 years ago. And mostly because I just couldn't find the jewelry that I wanted to wear. And I have never worn a lot of jewelry, but every time I always look for pieces that I can wear all the time and that feel soft against my body and that have a little weight to them. And it felt like most of the jewelry that I saw was too sharp, too glittery, just too much for me. Not enough and too much. So I had the thought a few times. I did find a couple of rings every once in a while that were so close, and I just had this, if I could change this, if I could change that, just these small alterations, I could make what I want. But that idea was kind of dormant, and I didn't think of it as a business idea. But Jade and I, because we're sisters and we have a past in making jewelry together, the topic came up every once in a while, and then quite a bit. And then we got to the point about 3 years ago where we wanted to transition out of the work that we were doing, and we were coming into a place in our lives where we felt excited to work together and to have more autonomy over our creativity. That was just persisting. And we had a meeting in July of 2019 where we sat together and we both had kind of really similar ideas about jewelry. And it just felt like this moment of like, that's what we have to do. Like it's inside both of us and we can do this. And it doesn't exist currently. There just aren't pieces that resonate with us. And so we started putting a business plan together, but mostly just worked creatively with each other, just sending ideas and constantly like, what do you think about this? And just getting really excited about nurturing that artistic and more loving side of ourselves. We both have kind of more technical backgrounds with our careers that required a certain amount of reason and professionalism, so it just felt really good to dip into this more creative aspect. So
okay, I'm Jade Grimius, and side note, we both kept our last names even though we're married, so
we still have the same last name. Yeah.
So it's fun when people see us, it's like Jade and Chelsea Grimius. It's like, yes, we're sisters. So yeah, just like Chelsea, I've never really been that interested necessarily in wearing a lot of jewelry, mostly because I couldn't find jewelry that I liked, but I loved making jewelry. So in high school, I took jewelry making classes. Chelsea did too. It was super enjoyable. I loved it. And then kind of grew up, got, married, have 4 boys. Chelsea has 3 boys. So we've got a lot of boys between us. And over the years, just thought to myself, it would be wonderful to be able to tap into kind of the more creative parts of myself. And I didn't really get the chance to do that in my job because I worked in a very technical industry. And so just a few years ago, Chelsea and I got together and decided that it was time in our lives to be brave and take a step forward and maybe away from our jobs that we've had and do something different. And so we got really excited about being able to make the jewelry that we've wanted, but we can't find anywhere.
I have a question for you, Jade. I see when you capture the photography and your position so professional, and I see your passion and I enjoy the passion in others. I see when you enjoy the work and when you take the picture is magic. All I see, and Chelsea helped with the pantalla, but you are with the picture. And this part in a company, and of course of jewelry, is very important, the photography. Most in this time that all is about all inside through the eyes.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I have always loved photography, but it has felt like frivolous, like I wasn't entitled, I wasn't allowed to do it because it's expensive. Cameras are expensive, lenses are expensive. And if I'm not making money from it, then it just is an expensive hobby, So being able to do it for this business and also for our creations has been so wonderful and so fulfilling, especially because it's actually really difficult to take a good picture of jewelry because it's metal, so it reflects light in all different ways, and it's tiny, so it's so hard to actually make it feel like it feels soft and warm and heavy and substantial, and it's wonderful, but it's really small, so it's a challenge, and it's been really enjoyable to be able to take pictures. So I'm glad you brought that up.
You take golden pictures, so perfect. I like a lot the pictures, and I can appreciate your work. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Viviana, I was gonna say too about the photographs. So one of the fun things about this whole process has been all the different avenues of creation. So at first it was just these designs and we wanted to make these certain rings and pendants. And then having to put a whole business together, like being able to do the photography and then how we want to set that up and then the website and then how we want to express in word how to like explain about these pieces. And one of the things with the photograph, as Jade was saying, it's difficult. It's been a learning process. We started out with rings that were very high polish, and that is extremely difficult because it's reflecting the room around it. And so the more we've allowed the pieces to patina and age, the easier it is to interact with the light and see the glow come out. So that also has been relevant to like when you allow imperfection. It doesn't have to be perfectly high polished. Like when you just allow what is real, then there's just like this enhanced beauty. And so it's been exciting. Like we're kind of on the edge of leaning into that even more, of like, you know, come in closer and see.
Make a connection with the jewelry and the person. I
Yeah.
can see that too. One picture that caught my attention is one close the hair and the hands, and the others where appear the kids. It's very nice. It's about the family too, so I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue with the meaning of a jewel in a person's life. What do you think?
Yeah, we've actually reflected on that quite a bit in why do people want jewelry? Why do we want it? What is it? What role does it play in our lives? And I think that answer varies for different people. We've read a lot about the history of jewelry and how it's been used to dominate, to possess, to control, to trade, to have power. And so its history is one of like beauty and interest, but also one of kind of ugliness and domination. And particularly for women, I think for most of the centuries, jewelry has been designed by men and then purchased by men and then bestowed upon women as a symbol of possession in some way. And so for me, that's partially why I feel like I'm not attracted to the essence of typical jewelry, because it feels like it is not made for me. So when I'm allowed in my power to describe and design something that feels like me, I feel like our customers and the people that come to us have that same desire. It's like, I want it for me. I want the private pleasure of that. I want to buy it for me, or it's okay to buy it for people as a gift. I mean, that's still a very beautiful thing. But first and foremost, I think it symbolizes self-love. And that's what I would want from my jewelry, you know, something that means something to me. So it's a symbol of beauty. It can be a symbol of a milestone. It's a symbol of...
Well, I think it's also a symbol of respect for yourself. I mean, it depends. Again, Chelsea said it means so many different things to different people, but for us, it really, especially as we age, as we get older, and we get to know ourselves better, and we start to understand and also respect ourselves a little more. And what that looks like is not doing things that we used to do so that we could make other people happy or not make them mad. For instance, with jewelry, if you care about your body and you care about yourself and you're respecting yourself, then you don't want to buy jewelry that hurts you or that is sharp or that doesn't fit well. I mean, and it's not all about comfort, it's also about beauty, but you can have both. And so that is something that is so important to like George Ring's values, is that a lot of things we do are for the individual's private pleasure, because we respect them and we know that they respect themselves and want a piece of jewelry that feels good on their body and is beautiful to look at. So that's an important thing for our designs.
Okay, I have something like that to show you. And so, Chelsea, do you have your mobile phone close?
Yes.
Okay, this is surprise moment.
Oh,
Pay attention, please.
okay.
Jade
Okay.
and Chelsea, to your WhatsApp. And I hope enjoy.
Hello. This is a message for George Rings. Please make your face up to the screen and wait. Loading, please wait. Thank you. Identity confirmed.
Oh,
Gosh, is that Christina?
Hello, my name is Cristina Barr. I'm a painter from Argentina living in the suburbs of Paris. I got to know Chelsea one lucky day when she found my art on Instagram. We started talking, she finally bought one of my paintings, and then I got to know that she also had an artistic project together with her sister Jade that was George Rings. I have to say, I immediately fell in love with their design. Why? Because as an artist, I immediately know that the eye catches the simplicity of lines. The eye leaves aside everything that is sort of superfluous, and this is exactly the strong point in George Rings, is that their design is so pure. And the second thing is, that is probably derived from the first one, is that it is a type of jewelry that we can wear every day. And that is the essence of luxury. Luxury is having tea in English porcelain, having French pastry, the tablecloth made by my mother, and yes, all this wearing a George ring.
oh my gosh.
Oh my
Message will
goodness.
self-destruct in.
That's so cool.
So,
So special.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's so wonderful, Viviana.
It's so nice to see the big smile in your faces, like a
So-
child.
Great.
This is so great. Thank you for making this, and thanks to Christina too, because it's something that our designs are something that we work so hard on. And I love that she did like air quotes for simplicity, because it seems simple, but honestly, it takes so much work to make it that simple, each of the curves of the designs. And we had a conversation recently with someone who is a jewelry connoisseur, and she had feedback for us that didn't feel right. Like what she offered was that our designs are too simple, and it really, we talked about it for 2 or 3 days, because we just thought, this isn't right. I think what's happening is that she missed it. Like, and I really appreciate that Christina can see the art in the pieces, and also the beauty of it.
And just to add to that, our CAD designer, which is the person that brings our sketches to life in the computer, when we were talking with him, he said we spent almost 2 hours on a band, just the curvature of this band, and all the shoulders of it, and how, because every little tiny move you make affects the geometry. And he said, simple pieces are the most difficult to create because there are no distractions. So he's like, I love it when people come to me with a really complicated design, because I can finish it very quickly. But if you're working with a very simple shape, there's nowhere to hide. So you have to make it perfect. And the balance, where its beauty lies, is in the attention to proportion. and the attention to the scale and how everything affects the other thing. And that actually feels so relevant in our lives too. It's like we're at this time where we're kind of trying to discard some of the things that haven't served us and like narrow in on the things that are the most important. And it just feels like all that other stuff just distracts you. And so to hear that from Christina, who's also an incredible artist, I know what discipline it takes for her to edit her paintings that come across in that same way. It's just enough, you know? It is enough there, but no more.
Okay. Another question, please.
Yes.
What comes after a sale of your rings? Could you share with us any memorable experiences?
Basically, every single one has been a memorable experience so far, and our company is small, and so we have pretty much personal interaction with every client. We usually meet our customers through Instagram or through word of mouth, and then they connect with us. And because it's such a deeply important purchase, there's usually some back and forth for a while where we talk about their feelings and desires and how they want to wear the jewelry, and then we get excited while we're making it and we tell them about it, and then after they get it, they reply to us. So we've had that experience where it's really joyful for us to be able to like connect with people that feel the same about our jewelry. But we can share a couple. And when she first saw our website, she was immediately attracted to just the simplicity. She's like, I've never seen such simple rings, and I really love the sovereign, the emerald ring. And so we talked about it, and then we ended up making it for her. And she told us later that she actually grew up in a religion that wouldn't allow her to wear jewelry. So she was part of a church where she couldn't pierce her ears or wear any jewelry. So this piece was the first piece of jewelry she's ever had, and she's in her 40s. And she said, when I saw it at first, I was like, just immediately attracted to it. And sorry.
Go with the flow. Don't worry.
Anyway, when she saw the piece, she loved, the emerald just on appearance. And then she scrolled down, and the name of it is the Sovereign, which means like
self-possession. Just having the authority over yourself, which is the only real authority any of us have, but a lot of us have grown up without that feeling of being able to make decisions for ourselves and having that authority.
So yeah, it was just special because that's what that ring also represents to us when we designed it. And then for her to receive it in her life in a similar way, that it felt like a step toward, owning her own authority and her inner wisdom was really special for us. You want to share, Megan?
Yeah. So this is another sovereign story, but so another one of our customers, Megan, had been looking for years, and then she started dating someone, and anyway, it progressed, and he found out that she loved this kind of ring, and she found our company and was really excited about it. And so he, in secret, was able to work with me and Chelsea and figure out the ring size and get her the ring, and then he proposed to her actually at the top of a black diamond ski lift. And so it was really super fun for them. They skied back down. I was able to be there, and I met them there. And she just says, like, it's super special to her because it's so unusual. Usually people will go for diamonds or white gold, but this is the ring of her dreams. And so she wears it everywhere. She went shopping for wedding dresses, and everyone was just like, is that your ring? Where did you find that? So it's brought her a lot of enjoyment and joy. So it's really special.
You have been in sports And a jewelry too.
Yes, exactly.
Be active.
And that's the point. It's like you should be able to do your life and wear jewelry, you know, not have to take it off.
Okay, darlings, ready for the second surprise?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Gabriela Collantes. I am an English teacher from Bellavista, Corrientes. I got to know Chelsea and Jade when Viviana invited me into this joyride together. I'd love to share my experience. These have been long months, full of self-discoveries and reinterpretations. I am thankful because when I saw a George ring for the first time, I came across gold with a different perspective and a different perception. It wasn't only richness and prosperity, it was simplicity, consistency, empowerment, courage, versatility, resilience, and sustainability. I got immersed into a process of transformation, like a jewel coming into the heat from the furnace. I melted away those thoughts that gold was dangerous because people could steal it from me, or it was only richness. It helped me polish myself and reveal my inner beauty to the world. It made me feel gold. I want to thank Chelsea and Jade because you inspired me not to be afraid to start a project and reminded me of the passion, desire, and enduring love. Thank you for connecting with people from different countries and sharing your perspective. George Rings is not a jewel only, it's also an experience, an everlasting memory that will never dust, never tarnish. Thank you. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
That's
sweet.
so
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, that's so kind.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Thank you. That is so special.
Both of you, that's so kind. We've just really enjoyed our video chats with both you and Gabriella, and that all of her words were just so meaningful for us because for us, our jewelry and our company is so much more than just, you know, pieces of jewelry. And I love everything she said. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was so beautifully articulated. Just, I'm gonna have to watch that again and again, just and remember. It's so meaningful.
So to me, the songs that we share are so have a lot of meaning to understand you, understand the soul, and understand, of course, in the terrenal part, the business, but the most important is behind because it's where all starts. And in other ways, because I was very sick, to me the life have another meaning. And when I say to you, we celebrate that we are alive, we are healthy, and we can share this style of situation is very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this moment to me is very necessary to communicate in this way, very soft, very kind, like a gold.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
The gold alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Another question, ladies. I like to mention how this new conscience becomes a breaking point for future generations. Tell us about the family role in the project.
Well, I'll start first, and this is such a good question, Viviana, and I almost wish that like we had hours to talk because I know this is true for Chelsea as well, but over the past several years, in conjunction with starting and creating this business and our designs for George Rings, I have been through a lot of personal growth, and I know Chelsea has too, and so have our husbands. And our husbands are also part owners in this business, and they have provided a lot of support for us, and we're so glad to be working with them. And our kids as well, they are still a handful. There's still 7 boys between the 2 of us, and it's a lot, but they've expressed a lot of excitement for George Rings, for this business. My 14-year-old in particular is constantly asking, like, Mommy, is there anything I can do for the business today? Give me a job. He's really excited. And all the kids are, really supportive in that way. But really, it's been such a great growth experience internally for me. I know that's true for Chelsea and our husbands as well. To be going kind of through this process of creation of a business, but then also internally, the process of getting to know ourselves better and loving ourselves more, understanding more about our bodies and loving our bodies. All of that feels really connected to the work that we've been able to do in kind of creating and birthing this company and these designs. And so anyway, I think that's a beautiful question and I love it.
Yeah, I have 2 things to add. One, just between us as sisters, Jade and I have always been pretty close and loved each other a lot. But our lives up to the point of George, we were busy. And so we didn't have that much contact. And now we have contact every single day. And I just feel like I've gotten to know her on a totally different level. I thought I knew her and I didn't know her. Now I'm like, oh, there's so much more to discover. And it's, we've had difficulty because we're both learning and growing and learning how to work together. But also, I just appreciate it so much that we get this chance to, I don't know, like grow together, I guess. And then I was gonna say also, I have a 5-year-old boy named Fritz, and he loves all rocks, all gems, all stones, anything.
All about the business. I see
So
him.
he wants to touch and wear every single one, and he doesn't understand why a 5-year-old isn't allowed to wear jewelry that expensive. And so he always cries and he's like, Mommy, I'm like, someday you can wear that ring. But I just love that he just, I guess, I don't know, kids are attracted to sparkly and beautiful things, but it feels like his presence in my life to constantly be this small little person that tells me it's beautiful and I want it, it gives me the sense of like, I don't know, encouragement, and it's so special. So yeah, it's definitely like a full family business on both of our families.
Okay, I can see all children want to make business.
Yes.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a problem too, huh?
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very funny. I love with Chelsea show all about Fritz. He's a genius.
Yes.
I can imagine your son or your daughter, I don't know, Jay, in the same style. But, but it's very funny. It's very funny. Fritz is my favorite in the saga of Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another invitation to do. Jay, do you have your cell phone too? Mobile phone? Okay, darlings. This is the like moment. We make this moment when pandemic start, all about digital. So in this moment, choose in Instagram any post that have a meaning for you, and you put a like.
Yes.
So both can choose and show me the like.
Okay.
Okay.
Just something new or something
That's
we
meaningful
already
for
like.
us.
It's up to you. You are
Okay.
free. You are free. Like a bird.
Okay. Okay, I found one.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, do you want to see?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. This is the one I chose.
Oh, this is me.
Yes. I love this picture of you. I saved it because you're on a sailboat, it looks like, and I love your joy. And then you say, being unconditional to myself is what I learned this year. I love myself infinite with all my flaws and virtues. To continue polishing myself, I want to be my own diamond. And I feel
Okay.
the same. It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I love that picture.
Thank you.
Okay, this one I already liked, but so I'm gonna unlike it and then I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna, it's
Oh my.
it's from your account. But I love that you posted it because it's just so great. I've been working so much lately on being able to be free, like in my own body. I feel like as women in particular, we grow up and we just make ourselves small all the time. Like, you know, we're sitting on the subway and we cross our legs and we cross our arms. Small can we get, you know? And but I love this idea of just feeling free to move. Yes, just open up, open heart, you know, awake, just be able to sense and feel and be there. So, and I love what you said. You talked about freedom and feeling in yourself and that you admired his freedom, you know, and I also have a big crush on Brad Pitt. So I was like, yes, I agree.
Go Brad Pitt and go your rings. Okay, we have a model. We have a model to your rings too.
That's right. Come on.
Yes.
Why not?
Someday.
Okay. Last question is, how do the pieces reflect the soul of George Rins?
Oh, that's such a great question.
Good question.
I'll start. The first
Yeah.
thing I think of is what they're made of. So 18 karat gold is a little bit softer than 14, and it's not quite as soft as 24 karat. So it's this right little middle spot of like perfection where it gets little marks and it shows your everything you do in your daily life and gets more beautiful with time. And so I feel like choosing that as our medium, you know, for communicating this is like, it's acceptance of what is, and also not just acceptance, but embracing and wanting to love something that's beautiful. So I feel like working with gold every day, we learn something new about its properties. Like we've always loved gold just because beautiful. So that's all. And then the more you know about the science, you know, of what it's made of, it's like, oh, no wonder I love that. It doesn't rust. It's flexible. It's ductile. Like you can stretch an ounce of gold for a mile. So it really feels like it represents like the best of the whole earth. It's just such an amazing substance, and to be able to have it on your body, it's like pure, it's not allergenic, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. So yeah,
there are a lot of different like parts that I love about this and things I could say about kind of how the designs reflect you know, something about us. But the thing that comes to mind is that something that is unique for our designs is that we really love rounded squares. So for instance, like, I don't know if you can see, so there's no part of this that's flat or sharp, but there is kind of some masculine and feminine. And we've always loved that. I've always been drawn to kind of androgyny, or, you know, the coming together of masculinity and femininity. And I feel like even within myself and within ourselves as people, when we can kind of understand more about, you know, kind of our masculine side and our feminine side and feel like bring those together in wholeness, that there's just a lot of joy and peace and stability and happiness and introspection and growth in that. And so in our designs, that's something that I love so much about each of our designs. Even, you know, so you see the sovereign, same thing. It's a square, but it's rounded. And so it's just a reflection of and a nod to how well masculine and feminine work together within a single piece or within a single person. So, yeah.
So, to me, this experience, the interview with Bob was very special. Because I feel so held in my body, so I can give more love to the situation, and I have an engagement with me that I choose what type of person do you choose, what you see, what you read, and see you, listen, read. It's very nice, it's very special, and make a connection with inside, and it's very kind and nice too. So I know sometimes networks maybe could be a bit frozen. I think that if we put other things, the connection can be real.
Yeah, and we agree.
Yeah, we've experienced that, and it's one of the surprising and really special parts of starting this business is making connections like this and like with you. And we're so glad that you found us and reached out to us, and that we've had this chance to get to know you better. And also your vulnerability is just really special, and we're grateful that you've opened your heart to us in that way. So thank you.
Yeah, and Viviana, we know it took a lot for you to prepare for this time, and with your health and with your feelings and with your English and all the work that you put into it. And we're just really grateful. And I think you did a beautiful job asking us questions, and we're really thankful for you.
I will cry. Okay, darlings, I don't have more to say. That my vulnerability helped me, so I hope give you a piece of love, and thank you very much for your time and for your story behind George Rings, that is soul art.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you so much.
Let me take a little picture of you.
Okay, I will try to be more close.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, there.
Oh, wait, that's in my face. Okay.
Jay and Chelsea, show your rings.
Oh.
Something like that. And maybe Chelsea. Yeah. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Another. So, thank you very much, my models.
Thank you
so much, Viviana. It was so good to see you today. That was a real pleasure in every way.
Good to see you.
Tell Gabriella thank you. We'll need to
Really
message her, and that was so sweet.
Okay, darlings.
Okay, take care. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Aquí está, mi píldora suicida. Este mes salió de sabor de fresa. Pruébela. No, gracias. No tenga miedo, no crea hábito. No. ¿Y usted cómo se suicida, Siegfried?
Esta es mi sortija suicida. Tendré que conservarla puesta.
¿Una sortija de boda suicida? ¿Y cuál es el elemento mortal?
Mi esposa, ella me dijo que si alguna vez me la quito, me mata.